You're joking, right?
Well, I'm trying to be hopeful. I'm trying to be optimistic about that.
Well, I guess you're too young to be a little pessimistic like me. The fucking things I see out there, people are stupid. Hey, Bronny.
Dad's going to fall asleep
I'm not.
on all of you, just so you know, listening.
So what did you do?
As he just said, he's an old man.
What did you do last night that you got no sleep?
I just got home. I went to bed at like 4 a.m.
Why? What did you do?
I went out with my friends. We went to this place called Bodega.
And
that, like, we just went to that one place. We just hung out.
What time did you got home that late?
Yeah.
What time?
I mean, we didn't arrive till like 12:30 or 1. So
who went out?
My whole friend group, like all the kickball team pretty much that you would know.
Oh, did you win this Thursday?
No, we did not win.
Damn.
Yeah.
You need me to go.
Well, we won the first game, and then we won the game that you were
That
at.
was that. You guys killed them.
Last game, I wasn't there.
The one, yeah. Or maybe that's the common thing.
But I was there the first game when we won.
Right.
So
all right.
I know that's not the case.
So we had a really nice weekend. We went on our friend's boat. It's a 104-foot boat with a crew of 4. We went down.
Oh, there's a little smudge on your face.
Oh my God, it's gone. Yeah, that's funny.
Just on your face, though. From probably washing.
We have a
the cup.
second one, don't we?
Right behind you.
You can have it.
It says your name on it.
Oh, right. So you can't have it. So we went. It was great. 4 couples went on Friday morning. We hung out down at the Keys.
You never really wear that watch.
No, I wore it. Yeah,
it's a good one.
It's a great one. So it was so fucking relaxing. We got back about 2-3 hours ago. The food was unbelievable. We just chilled.
People, like there was a
chef
on the boat.
But
you didn't like go out. You didn't go anywhere. You just like stayed in Miami.
No, right. We went to the Keys. We docked. We didn't dock. We anchored, and it was like glass, and it was so nobody around because you could see all the stars and no light pollution.
Oh, at night. Yeah, that's awesome.
And then we did that. The food was great. All we did was stay in shorts and t-shirt.
Yeah, well, you're on a boat.
No, it was fucking
Would
great.
you just like hang out and talk? There's no TVs and stuff, right? Were there TVs?
No, just hung out and talked.
Yeah, that's cool.
Great time, smoked cigars. Then Dan and Michelle, we picked them up on the next day. We met them in Coral Gables. So the tender went out and got them. And we stayed, like, I guess in Miami, like closer towards 395. So
you were sending me pictures of like where I was.
City, right? The city was great. The pictures of the city were awesome. It was so much fun, like so fucking relaxing. I was so content.
Nice.
It was great. So then we go ahead, and I can't make this up. We go ahead and the Honeywell. Remember the Honeywell family,
like the company Honeywell.
Yeah, so they owned an island.
How would I know the family? But
it's
I know
a big time. Right?
I thought it was just a company name. I didn't know it was a family name.
So they go ahead.
They make like generators and shit, right? Like air conditioning,
all electrical stuff. No,
yeah,
everything.
Yeah.
So I'm sure things that I don't even know about.
Right, and I'm sure like transistors that are like in everything that we don't even know.
Yeah. Right. So, but major. So they owned an island where they built a little lighthouse. Excuse me. And we go to. It's now owned by the government. So we go there, and the tender takes us out.
All lands owned by the government. Yeah.
Listen, tender takes us out, and we go there, and they're like, if you walk, and it was really nice. And it's a nice small little island. If you walk through the trails, there's a beach in there. And so the 3 couples before Dan and Michelle got there, and I can't even do it justice. We're walking, and we have a shirt and a shorts on and our backpacks, whatever. I'm like, ow.
You had shirts on? That's crazy.
No, I'm telling you, there's a reason why.
Okay.
And literally, we're walking and we get like a mosquito bite here and there, and then I know thousands.
Mosquitoes.
We were running away. Actually, I got to show you a picture of what it did through the shirt of one of the guys' back.
Damn.
Okay, I've never in my life. 1 minute, let me just see if Mom. You will be fucking blown away. I've never. We were dying. We tried to get in the water. It didn't make a difference.
Just text her to send you the picture. You're gonna call her to say, "Can you send me the picture?"
Well, I would have now. It would have been easy.
No, just a text.
Why?
Because she has to text it to you anyways.
All right, so you be you. So what happened was...
So you're going to go, do you have the picture? She's going to, can text it to me? Yeah.
It was... She might not get up and get her phone. I'm telling you, it was the worst fucking thing ever. Like, how does people do Naked and Afraid? It looked like that. It bit me all over my leg. One woman's face, and you hit it, and all the blood
squirts out.
It was so fucking painful. We couldn't run fast enough. It was fucking crazy. But other than
it must have been like a breeding ground or something.
It was a great trip, and are you
gonna try her again? She obviously isn't by her phone.
I'm gonna text her. Oh, why am I texting? Right, I'm calling. 1 minute.
Doesn't know how to work a phone.
Can you text me the photo of Pete's back after the mosquito bites?
Question mark. I love when parents do the punctuation.
And you said, I love my parents. I can't. It was a great trip, and the weather was great, and it was so nice, and the city looked fucking
weather
awesome.
was great. This
great.
whole weekend in Miami.
Yeah,
and the rest of the country, the weather was fucked this weekend.
Yeah, and a couple with going back to northern Connecticut.
Yeah, New England had
tomorrow,
like a whole cold front and storm. California had a whole snowstorm. It was snowing in Los Angeles, in the city of Los Angeles. It was full on snowing. And here, it's hot out right now. It's like 85 degrees and beautiful.
And we're stuck in doing a pod.
You were sitting on a couch watching. We bought a zoo. Not We Bought a Zoo.
It's
That's
82.
a great. What movie were you watching? We Have a Ghost or something? Stupidest movie in the world.
Can I tell you?
We Bought a Zoo is a great movie.
Already made 3. It's a black family that bought this rundown house. Already 3 black comments made. 1 hour into it, already made racial shit.
Well, what do you mean racial shit? Like they can't talk about that they're black?
No, they made...
Like if you watch a Woody Allen movie, he constantly is making Jewish comments.
No,
would you watch it and be like,
this
is a Jewish movie?
No, but... Well, if it's too Jewy juiced, then yeah.
Was that too blacky black?
No, they were making comments. They were making it... There was a...
He said, when I was sitting down, the only one I heard and you commented, he goes, we could be the black Kardashians. What's bad about that? Because the Kardashians aren't black.
But that was the third comment.
I don't see... Because if it was like an Asian movie... Like you watched the movie Crazy Rich Asians, right?
Yeah, but
that was full of Asian comments. It was a whole Asian movie, but that doesn't bother you.
But
you were like,
I actually liked it. It was literally Crazy Rich Asians. It was an Asian movie.
Yeah.
This was these were statements being made. Is a difference. I'm not going to have some full-blown conversation with you.
A movie about Asians is about Asians. It's not political, but a movie about black people is inherently political.
It wasn't a movie about black people. It's a black family. It wasn't about black people.
But it's about black.
It was not about black people. 100% was not about black people.
It's not about black history, but it's about black people. It's a movie with the cast is black, so it's about black people.
It's a white fucking ghost. That's not true. It's just a movie about a ghost in a house, not a black.
But the family's black.
No. So what?
So it's about them and they're black people.
It's not about a black family with a white ghost in a thing.
That's literally what the movie is.
No, it's not. It's a movie about a ghost in a house.
And who lives in the house? A family.
Doesn't matter. It's a family.
Right, and they're black.
No, you're missing the point.
No, you're missing the point.
Oh, I'm 100%
because it doesn't matter. That's what I'm saying.
It doesn't matter. That's what I'm saying. They're making it matter by 3 racial comments.
So if
keep
it was
the racial comments and just say it has to be a family that has a ghost in the house.
If it was a Chinese family
and they didn't make any comments, it'd be fine.
Say, if it was a Chinese family and the Chinese grandma was like, we can be the Chinese Kardashians, you would have been like, ha ha ha. But he said we can be the black Kardashians, and you go a black comment.
No,
like what?
You understand?
I don't understand. Honestly, I don't.
Because one is purposeful. Remember when we did Captain
But what's
America?
the purpose? That's what I'm saying. When he said we can be the black Kardashians, what's the purpose? What's the political message
I'm not
there?
having this conversation.
I'm asking. You said it's purposeful. What's the purpose?
To send them to make a statement.
What's the statement?
Against the racial shit.
Against the racial shit.
No, it's all racial shit. 100%. There's no comment. There's no doubt in my mind.
Okay, but it's only because they're black, right? If it was an Indian family and they said we can be the Indian Kardashians, you wouldn't think it's a statement. But the Indians
aren't making a whole fucking statement about it. Not every fucking show's about Indians or Asians making a statement about it.
Fair.
It's intentional. There's a difference.
Yeah, I mean, it would be annoying if everything I watched, I was like getting. Like trying to like pick out the political statements of.
No,
like it was a stupid movie about ghosts. Just watch the movie about ghosts. All I'm saying is,
I want to watch it as a.
What were the other ones though? Were they more than
much
Black Kardashians? Because that's nothing.
Yes, it was.
What were they?
I forget, but I'm being honest.
Okay, I believe you.
I'm being honest. The third one. You. So what happens to me? I want to watch as a family. I don't care if they're black or white. I just happen to watch the family.
But was like that a big crux of the movie, or was it just they were black?
Was Captain America when the same guy, the same actor, when he did his political statement at the end? Was that a big crux of the movie? No,
It was. No,
movie.
that was a bit. That the whole point of that show was that it was a black Captain America. Was the whole point of this movie that they were a black family, or they just happened to be a black family, and so part of the things they say are black things.
And we know it wasn't really true because if there was a ghost in a black family's house,
they would have burned the house.
They're
down.
out.
Yeah.
They're not going up in the attic.
They would have burned the house down.
They're gone.
No, they would have seen the ghost and go, "Oh, hell no,
I'm out. Hell no, I'm out.
Hell no," and they would have walked out.
Okay,
that's why there are no black horror movies because black people don't put up with that shit.
Or the black people always get killed at the beginning.
Yeah, well, that was an old racist thing,
right?
That actually was like a racist thing.
They talk to the movie screen.
Yeah, but that's why, like, literally, black people in real life wouldn't, as a culture, put up with that kind of shit as much as like white people go on ghost tours. Black people aren't going on fucking ghost tours, you know?
Why not?
Because it's just not part of their culture. They're like, fuck that. Like they would say, hell no.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, of course not. But that's why I'm saying, like, that's why there are no black horror movies, because it's just not that realistic. Where like a stupid white girl would, if she saw like a ghost, be like, hello, and keep going down into the basement, like in Barbarian. Remember, the girl kept going down.
That's the dumbest thing in the world.
But a black chick would be like,
that was
fuck
a crazy
this and
fucking
leave.
movie.
Actually, the woman in Barbarian was not white who went down. So
that's true.
What was her? I don't even know if she was black though. She was so light.
That was a bizarre movie, wasn't
Great
it?
movie. I love that movie, Barbarian. But there's nothing more to say about that. You should just watch it.
Yes, watch
and
it.
that's it. Just don't even look up anything and just watch it.
And that guy casted the famous actor.
Don't say anymore.
It's just bizarre.
Because you're gonna spoil something.
I'm not.
You definitely are.
I'm just gonna say it was like 2 movies. Okay, let's go.
Yeah, see, I know he can't contain himself.
And the rest.
Stop! You fully just spoiled the whole movie.
I didn't spoil anything.
You said it's 2 movies and the breast. If you know what that means, like that'll give away the whole movie.
Does not. All right, let's move on.
That's why I said don't stop talking, because that'll be like, have you watched Game of Thrones yet? And you'll be like, no, I've never seen it. And I'll be like, oh, it's great, you got to watch it. And you're like, yeah, well, no, I definitely am going to watch it. But like, I haven't seen it yet, so don't tell me. And I'd be like, it's crazy. Just wait till you get to the red wedding scene where they kill all the people. And you're like, I just said I didn't fucking see it. Why did you tell everybody
about that?
Because I use Game of Thrones for a reason, because
everybody's seen it.
Yeah.
So the weekend was a great fucking weekend to get back. And I'm going to the Game of Thrones castle in Iceland. Not Iceland, in
Ireland.
Ireland. Isn't that going to be pretty cool?
Yeah, you're going to like some of the sets.
Yeah.
Or not the sets, like where they film.
I'll FaceTime you.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
all right,
that'll be good.
All right, so what's going on, bud?
And when we, nothing's going on.
When we what?
I was gonna say, but then I don't even know why I popped, because you said Iceland.
Left side, other side.
I'm just saying when we go to Iceland, I really hope we see the Northern Lights. Like we gotta.
Me too. Oh, so let's talk about Iceland for a moment. So Bryce wants to go, but there's no flight going out there.
No. There are, just not. Our flight is booked.
Okay.
Me, you, and Mom are on one flight.
Okay.
So we connect Miami to Boston and then Boston Reykjavik. That flight, the Boston to Reykjavik flight, is gone. So he can do, but there's still a flight that night out of Toronto or Montreal, one of them. So we can do, or we fly to Fort Lauderdale, whatever. He can do Fort Lauderdale to Montreal, then Montreal to Reykjavik, and he lands 10 minutes after us in Reykjavik. So he would just have to go alone, which is very unlike Bryce to do. So he might miss it because he literally missed his flight this morning.
But on the way back, he can come with us.
He would be on our flight on the way home.
So would you go alone or no?
I can't. My ticket is mine. It's my name, my passport number.
Right. That's right. Good point.
Yeah. Because I thought about that and I was like, I would do the alone.
I thought about doing it too, but I can't because I have a different seat. I mean, different business class.
But I thought about doing that, but I literally couldn't, because like you can't use someone else's ticket. You just can't do that.
So he's got to make that decision. How much is the ticket?
I forget. It was like $1,200 or something.
All right.
Yeah, I mean that's
not
a big deal at all. I actually like going on international flights alone. It's like nice. You like go. It's just. I also just like traveling alone. Traveling with the family, no offense, is just complicated because there's like all of us and we all want different things and we all have different.
Okay.
Yeah. Whatever.
All right. Well, we'll see what he does. He's got to make decisions soon, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's classic Bryce to be like, we had literally booked a whole trip 3 weeks ago, had all the things. I booked all our excursions for 4 people. I booked all these things, right? And then 2 weeks before we're going to leave, he's like, you know what? I'm coming. And it's
Did you book it for 4? We'd have to add him?
I would have to see if there's space on all these tours that we're doing, yeah.
They can add him.
I'm sure, but Yeah, we'll see.
All right.
I mean, we're apparently though. I like the week we're going is a popular week because half of the hotels in the country were sold out. Like I couldn't get a hotel in one of the towns on our road trip. Like I just couldn't get a fucking hotel because they were all sold out.
So what are we doing?
I got one eventually. Like I found one, but
There's shit one?
no,
Okay.
it's only for one night too.
All right.
It's just like while we're on the road. Yeah. Okay, that's that. Can you lower the air in here? It's a little
Sure.
hot.
Okay. Consider it done.
Fuck, you said something and it like triggered in my head that I wanted to bring up something. Oh, just like an hour ago, I saw on Twitter that the Department of Energy, this is not even something to really talk about. It's just something I wanted to share with you because you probably haven't seen it. The Department of Energy, U.S. Department of Energy, said that COVID came from a lab. But then the CIA and like the FBI say, no, it didn't. So now
But didn't we all know it came from the lab?
well, there's a difference between like you being like, yeah, this is what I think, and then like the government being like, this is what we think, you know? Just because you think something doesn't mean that that's like, oh, we all know it. Or like it's right, or it's like factual. But what's just interesting about it is like now there are different departments within our own government, all at the same level, who are saying different things about COVID, which is like, you know, all throughout COVID,
Was never.
they were all
on the same page.
It was one fucking like, they were all behind one
That's
castle.
not surprising, though. Are you surprised by that?
By which part?
By the fact that other organizations are coming out now because it's so like past, like people are probably fed up with this bullshit.
That is surprising to me. That's unsurprising to you that our government is like at odds with itself about COVID policy. That's surprising to me because they were, I mean, literally every single thing with COVID and our government was the most, you fall in line and it's one thing and whatever we say is 100% correct and every single part of this government is agreeing down to the fucking local level. So that is surprising to me, yes.
Okay,
It's also surprising to me that the government is that a government agency is saying.
And which agency is this?
Department of Energy. I don't even know why.
Why? How were they connected?
I have no idea.
And what is their proof that it came from a lab?
We can look it up. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's proof. It's just what their theory. We're never going to get proof unless we invade China, you know. But because China would never tell us the truth. But it was everywhere. Like CNN was running with the story today.
Really?
Which is also, it's just so annoying because it's like a year ago and 2 years ago at this point. 2 years ago at this point, if you said if you said you think it came from a lab, this video would have been removed from YouTube if we said that. Literally, me just saying that would have been removed from YouTube. But now CNN can say it, no problem. It's like
Unbelievable. The hypocrisy.
They're looking up COVID.
You said Department of Energy.
Yeah, I just want to get an article. Let's say Department of Energy. COVID. Yeah, look, 60 minutes ago from CNN. U.S. Energy Department assesses COVID-19 likely resulted from lab leak, furthering U.S. intel divide over virus origin.
It is funny that CNN would do that. You're right. It never would have happened.
Never would they have.
But I don't know what the Department of Energy has to do with it, but that's okay.
It says here, 2 sources from the Department of Energy assessed in the intelligence report that it had low confidence the virus accidentally escaped from a lab. And 1, intelligence agencies can make assessments with either low, medium, or high confidence. A low confidence assessment generally means the information is not reliable. Okay, but what does that even mean?
It's so funny to say anything.
The latest assessment further adds to the divide in the U.S. government over whether the COVID-19 pandemic began in China as a result of a lab leak or whether it emerged naturally. The various intelligence agencies have been split on the matter. In 2021, the intelligence community declassified a report that showed 4 agencies in the community assessed with low confidence. Wall Street Journal first reported. I mean, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know why the Department of Energy. The Director of National Intelligence declined to comment. The latest intelligence assessment was provided to Congress as Republicans on Capitol Hill have been pushing for further investigation into the lab leak theory while accusing the Biden administration of playing it down.
Can you text Bronson the photo of the guy's back from the mosquito bites?
Yes.
See, that's a text. That's the weirdest phone call to make.
Okay, really? Okay, so you're you. I don't fucking agree with you.
Okay,
that's the weirdest phone call?
You
what were you saying? I'm going to cut you off.
You want the video?
Sure, send me
I don't
both.
know.
Let me see both. Bye. Oh, then I forgot to tell you this. So we were running. There was like this old boat ramp that wasn't being. I'm sorry for cutting you off.
No, I was.
There was an old boat ramp that like old from the time when this was built, the Honeywell Mansion, whatever. So one of the wives we're running back because it was so bad. She said she wanted to jump in the water, so she ran on the boat ramp. But it was so old and slimy, she slipped and fell right into the fucking water. And then her husband went in after her, and he fucking like they could have hit their heads, bad, like really lucky. And then they're like, she's like, help! I'm like, no, get your camera, videotape. So I started teasing her, saying, use
was
your
she
leg.
saying like help, like actually,
But
or
she was
like,
okay.
Kind of, yeah.
And then her husband went and fell in as well. So I'm like, no, don't help. Let's let them work it. Like, me being obnoxious.
Yeah.
And I'm like, kick your legs.
That's also like a thing online though. There's like a whole thing. It's like a whole subreddit of videos where it's like that, where like people are filming someone else, like when they should be just taking down, like putting their phone away and just going in and helping. It's called "Don't Help, Just Film" or something.
But because I knew she was okay. I was having fun with it. We were joking around, and then so she was like half on the boat ramp, and the other half of her feet were in the water. I'm like, kick your legs. So the whole time we kept calling her a cement surfer. She was cement surfing.
What's that?
I mean, she was like on the cement, like it was just. Never mind.
I don't know what that is.
Okay, no big deal. But it was funny. All right, so go ahead. You have your phone with you?
Yeah.
Oh, did mom text you?
Yeah, but I mean, I'll look at it, but the people listening can't look at it. So I'll
show a photo.
I'll just look at it and I'll go, ooh.
Let me see the photo. That was through a shirt.
Wow, that actually is pretty
Let me see.
good. It looks like he has smallpox.
No, through a shirt. That's fucked up.
You must have like... Yeah, that's crazy. You must have like disturbed a breeding ground or something.
But we were walking for probably a good 30, 40 yards. Like first like, ow, and then it was fucking...
That's like in a King Kong movie or something, or like Indiana Jones.
It was... But did you see how bad his back was?
Through
a shirt.
I did see it.
Fucked up.
That is bad. Yeah.
Yeah, no, fucked up.
All right, so I mean, that's that. It just came out, and so I just felt like sharing it. It literally
Thanks for sharing.
That article was posted 16 minutes ago, so I just...
The whole COVID thing is so fucking retarded.
Yeah, and then just one more thing, too, that happened last night on SNL.
I do want to talk, though, about this, which we just only scratched the surface when we talked about the weather. It snowed in fucking California.
I said that.
That's what I'm saying, right? I'm saying, but
it's full
that's
on
crazy, Bronson.
Well, I mean, it snows a lot in California. You mean in Southern California, like Los Angeles.
Right, I'm talking where it doesn't snow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Like it was snowing in Los Angeles.
No, unbelievable.
Yeah. There was snow on the Hollywood sign. There was like a perfect storm.
But
Yeah, there was like I saw a tweet about it that was like there was a cold front that came in off the Pacific, and there was like just something like the way that the winds came down from the mountain and that something over the Pacific like met in LA, and it just
did the city shut down?
Yeah, like my friends who live there have said like no one has been going out all weekend. The streets are all flooded because it's been. So the thing is, it's been raining like nonstop for a week, and then also there was a crazy cold front, so that's why it started snowing. But the streets are all like flooded throughout the city. Like
oh my God.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's kind of crazy. I mean,
we were in Colorado in the summer, Mom and I, many years ago, and it started hailing.
I got caught in a hailstorm up on the Continental Divide in Independence Pass. I was at the top.
In the summer?
In the summer. It started hailing, and we had to wait an hour because, those roads are treacherous.
Yes.
So we literally sat in the car, me and Justin, sat in the car for an hour.
I'm glad you did that. Good.
And just waited till it passed because I was like, I'm not driving in a hailstorm.
So we were in like somewhere in Colorado many years ago, and it was like July or August, and it was hailing so hard it dented the rent-a-car.
Yeah.
Like if you got out, you'd be in pain.
People die from that.
Yeah, no, it was fucking July, like ice tennis balls denting the fucking rent-a-car.
Yeah.
Crazy shit.
Happens.
We thought it was going to break the fucking sunroof glass. That's how scary it was.
All right, hail's crazy.
Hail to the hail.
Oh, God.
Go ahead.
Just another thing COVID related. Just briefly.
This COVID shit, yeah.
No, this one's because this just happened last night too. So Woody Harrellson was hosting SNL last night. And
I didn't like him as an actor originally, but I like him.
I like him.
Yeah, no, I like him. The past 10, 15 years, I like him.
Yeah, he's a great actor. And he throughout COVID, he kind of just been like a little silent about things. Like he hasn't supported anything.
Okay.
And then he went on Bill Maher's podcast like 2 weeks ago and talked about how like he was just like, why have we been trusting? He's like, government and big pharma, like they're not in our favor.
Corrupting
So he's like, he's with it, right? So he hosted
Common
SNL
sense.
last night.
Let me see.
And he did a whole like 7-minute monologue to start it. And the last 30 seconds, kind of out of nowhere, people are thinking that he slipped it in. And because it probably wouldn't have been approved. And it was literally the last like 30 seconds of his monologue. But I'll just play it for you and you can hear.
Him.
And he like just made a joke about COVID. But yeah, let's see. Hold on.
Wait. Yeah.
Hold on.
So the movie goes like this. The biggest drug cartels in the world get together and buy up all the media and all the politicians and force all the people in the world to stay locked in their homes.
Yep.
And people can only come out if they take the cartel's drugs and keep taking them over and over. I threw
You
the
can hear
script
people don't want to hear
away.
it.
I mean, who is going to believe that crazy idea? Being forced to do drugs?
Wow.
That's
Okay, 1,000% that was his moment.
yeah, and you can hear that the
But
crowd didn't really want to like. They didn't know.
But the other side does it all the time. They say whatever the fuck they want to say and use what it.
Well, yeah, of course.
The View, what people they all say with it. They use the medium. They're fucking the athletes. LeBron James. Good for him.
So he posted that, or not?
Good for him. I want to hear one more time.
He did that last night. Today already, all the major publications
Are banning him?
not banning. They all said Woody Harrelson goes on anti-vax rant, like anti-vax joke on SNL monologue. Like they're already.
Oh, he's shaming him or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I want to see that again. I liked it, but good for him. Fuck everybody.
But is that not like so? He said the media's bought. He was
It's
like
like
they
a-
buy up
yeah,
all the media,
and
and
they're
it's like
like mafia.
the media's proving it today. Every single media source was like running a hit piece on Woody Harrelson. It's like they literally are proving his
100% good. I want to see
Like
this.
this. The biggest drug cartels in the world get together and buy up all the media and all the politicians and force all the people in the world to stay locked in their homes. And people can only come out if they take the cartel's drugs and keep taking them over and over. I threw the script away. I mean, who is going to believe that crazy idea? Okay, so the movie...
Right, and no one's left. They don't know what to do.
And I watched the whole
Yeah.
monologue just because I was like I like to watch the context of it.
And they were laughing all
They
the
were
time
laughing
up
the
to
whole
there.
time, and then he pulled this out, and it got a little awkward.
But good for him.
Yeah,
Good for him.
Let me see.
Wow.
He was on. See, look, if I do Woody Harrelson, I typed in Woody Harrelson. What's the first thing that pops up? Woody Harrelson, SNL, and then what? Woody Harrelson, anti-vax.
Oh, God.
And it's like that. What he said wasn't anti-vax.
But wait. But what's wrong with being anti-vax?
Well, yeah, I mean, nothing.
It's
Well, there's also a
choice.
huge difference between like being wary of the COVID, whatever, because it's not a vaccine. The COVID mRNA shot
Right.
is very different than being anti-vax.
But
like, I don't want to take the COVID shot. I didn't, and I wouldn't recommend it to people. I have every other shot. Every other vaccine.
Can't someone say I don't want to be
Of
vaccinated?
course they can. But the thing with that is it gets a little, because it's like the thing is it's sensitive because let's say you as a parent didn't vaccinate me, Bryce, and Burke against like measles, right? Because this is a thing that's been happening. Like you didn't vaccinate us against measles, and I got measles, and I go to school and I spread measles around now. Where like if everyone's vaccinated against measles, like measles was not a thing 20 years ago because everyone was vaccinated against it. So it was eradicated. But now they're all coming back. Like all those things because people are like, I don't want to vaccinate my kid against measles. So now it's like kids are dying from measles again.
But if we have the vaccine, we can't get it. It's only people who don't have the vaccine get it, and that's the choice that parents don't have their kids vaccinated.
But I think but then
isn't it their choice?
Yeah, I mean, of course, yeah, it is their choice, I guess.
There's nothing he said it was anti-vax there.
No,
He just saying
it wasn't anti-vax at all. It was anti-big pharma.
it was
anti-corruption.
They're saying it's like the mafia, correct?
It was anti-corruption. He didn't mention the vaccine, and he didn't say the vaccine's bad. He just said they're forcing us to take it. That's not anti-vax. That's anti-vax forcing or anti-vax legislation.
Right.
Here he was on Bill Maher talking about it too.
Let's see.
I don't like
What's the barefoot?
profiteering in war.
That's what
You know?
Right.
Think of the billions of dollars that have gone to big pharma. But I was getting back to my original point. The last people I would trust with my health is big pharma and big government because neither one of those strike me as caring entities.
Spoken as the perfect redneck hippie. Really.
That's what I say all the time. I say the government and big corporations,
They
they're not
couldn't care one bit.
No, not at all. They're not.
It's all money.
They don't have our best
Money and
interests
power.
at heart. Yeah. But literally today he was I think Jimmy Dore shared some of this stuff. He was all the articles about him are already
no life.
Yeah, like Jimmy Dore said, so this is a Rolling Stone article. It said Woody Harrelson spreads COVID conspiracy theories during SNL monologue. What did he like? And then so they ran that, and Jimmy Dore said, how long before Rolling Stone is running the headline that Woody Harrelson's racist? Because that's the playbook. That's what they do.
1,000%.
That's what they do. And then he said,
Good for him.
He said, this is how bought media smears because they told the truth about their biggest advertiser. You've been lied to about COVID. And then I think someone shared a screenshot. Yeah, look. So Rolling Stone was the one we just read. Daily Beast, this is all today. Daily Beast did Woody Harrelson spreads anti-vax conspiracies in rambling SNL monologue. Okay. Then HuffPost said, Woody Harrelson rambles about weed anti-vax conspiracy.
No, he didn't.
Variety said Woody Harrelson's SNL monologue makes COVID conspiracy jokes. So it's like they're all...
Yeah, but
when do they ever talk about people's monologues? But they're
do
all...
this all the time. So their captions and their fucking titles are false.
It's crazy.
And misleading. They're fucking ridiculous. And the dumb fucking Americans will drink the fucking Kool-Aid again.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah.
People are fucking dumb. Saying it from day one, and you don't let those fucking people be dumb. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Good for Woody Harrelson. Speaking, not afraid to speak
The way
the
you
fucking
said that
truth.
was so like Jewish crap.
What?
Good for Woody Harrelson.
Not let him speak the fucking truth.
This episode is brought to you by Manscaped, who has been infiltrating my life more and more every day, and it's made it better. Like, I literally walk into my bathroom now, and it's just all Manscaped shit, because now I have the new Beard Hedger Pro, right, and the whole kit. So on my counter, and I have 2 sinks in my bathroom. I know it's I'm kind of a big deal. And one sink is like now my Manscaped sink. I have my Beard Hedger, which is their new trimmer, which is the fucking best for your beard. It's like, it has so many different settings, so you can like get every little, you can trim it down to whatever length you want. So I have that. I have my lawnmower right next to it, which I use for my balls and my chest and my taint and my gooch.
Great with Manscaped? They made a fucking rack for this shit to hold everything.
They should, yeah.
Because we have
Manscaped, do it.
Because I have a lot of stuff too.
Yeah.
And it would be neat if it was just like stacked perfect, like
an organizer.
But like in a salon where it sits in a thing, so the cords are lower.
Yeah.
You don't see
Manscaped,
it.
We'll talk about that.
You should let them know.
And I'm sure they'll get on it because they listen to their customers.
And they're the best.
So not only do I have I have my Beard Hedger, I have my lawnmower right there, right? I have my weed whacker, which I use for my nose and
but
my ears.
I still think that's the best thing.
Yeah, that's like the low-key sleeper one that you need more than the others.
And sometimes when it zaps the nose here, the sound, I like it.
Yeah, it's like when you're catching bugs, with the electric
doing
thing.
Laundry.
Doing laundry.
You feel satisfied.
So I have those. And then with this new Beard Hedger kit that came out, if you buy the whole kit, so I have my beard shampoo, which is my shower, alongside my Manscaped 2-in-1 conditioner, shampoo and conditioner, and my body wash, literally all in my shower.
Proud of you.
And then on my sink, then I also have my beard conditioner, which now I've been putting on after, and my beard hair is not as prickly, right? So it's like,
Let me feel.
if I'm kissing anyone, it's not going to irritate.
It's not so bad. It's still a little hurts.
Well, it's because it's so short,
Feel sorry
because I
for the
just
girl.
trimmed it.
Yeah.
And then my beard balm is there. I have my so in this new Beard Hedger Pro kit, not only do you get a lot of the things that I just mentioned, but they give you 3 free gifts in it. So I have my nice brush, my nice wood
Great brush.
that I
like the
I
brush.
barely have any hair in my beard, but I like brushing it down just because it feels good with the brush. And then it comes with a nice comb and a nice pair of scissors, which makes me feel like a fucking professional barber. So they've taken over my life, and it's made it better. Like I feel cleaner. I look better.
You have the one set from them. We got to get another set from them.
What do you mean?
Another one of those beard ones.
Oh, we'll get you a beard one.
Get me one.
I have one. Bryce has one. We'll get you one.
Yeah, okay, good.
So everyone go check it out. It's really great. If you head over to manscaped.com and you use the code DaddyIssues20, you'll get 20% off your entire order, and you can get all the things that I just mentioned.
Great fucking gift idea, guys. Great fucking gift idea.
It really is. It's not like you need it in your life, but also just give it to all the men in your life, and women, and non-binary people.
Yep, reasonably priced, great gift. I'm telling you, they'll be very thankful.
So once again, head over to manscaped.com, use the code DaddyIssues20. You'll get 20% off your order and free shipping.
Seriously, it's enough already.
It's not even speaking the truth. It's just being can't we just question what the crazy shit that's going on.
But that is the truth.
Yeah, it's crazy. But also, I think it's just now,
I like 'em more now.
like a lot of people just don't care anymore. Like people literally are so
But they're
over it.
still afraid to being worried about being canceled.
Yes, but it's getting less and less. But they definitely still are. I agree completely.
Good for Woody Harrelson. Good for him.
Yeah, that's how you
May
do
have
it.
such nachas.
Do you want to do? I have like there's a few different things we could talk about. I don't know which one to bring up.
Whatever you want, brother.
We could just do like a fun little thing because there's this thing that's been going around online. It's like a list of sentences that you try to say and like not sound sarcastic saying it. Like you try to say them genuinely. And I was like, I don't know if we could do that.
Because we're too sarcastic?
It's just hard to do them. So I think, let me see. Is this it? Yeah. So I want you to try some of these and see. We'll both try and see if we can say them without sounding sarcastic. Let's see. Yeah, can you say that first one? Like, say that sincerely.
That's great.
Oh, that was really sincere. Good for you.
Thank you.
I'd be like, that's great.
That sounds completely fine.
Okay, what's next? Good for you.
Good for you.
That sounds sarcastic. I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
Good for you. We're not like, good for you.
No, well, that's condescending, not sarcastic. Let's see. If I were to do it to you, like, good for you.
Nothing wrong with that.
Okay, that sounded good.
Have fun.
You're good at these. Maybe just because you're like a dad.
I'm a dad.
Have fun.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Either. And you're like a dad too. Fascinating.
No, that sounded
No.
bullshit.
I'm not. That's fascinating.
Yeah, that sounds like you're talking down to me.
Okay. No, I'm not talking that yet.
Fascinating. I don't know how I'd do that.
You're so intellectual. Thanks for that.
That sounded dicky.
Really?
That sounded like you were like annoyed with the person. Do it.
Thanks for that.
Yeah, that's sarcastic.
Really?
But also, when have you ever said
That's
thanks
a
for
weird.
that?
That words don't
Yeah,
go
I would
together.
never say that.
Okay.
The next one.
You
What is
did-
that?
you
Well
did-
done, you.
Wait.
What does that even mean?
Thanks for that.
Thanks for that.
I wouldn't take any.
Yeah, I think that sounded
That's a little
fine.
douchey, but
I think it sounded fine.
well done, you.
Is that a sentence? I've never heard
I mean,
anyone
like,
say that in my life.
It's meant like good job, but it's stupid. Next one I saw was like, good luck with that.
Yeah, that sounded
was like-
sarcastic.
yeah,
that sounded
has
really
to
bad.
be. Good luck with that.
Good luck with that.
I mean, that works out for you, dickwad.
Good luck with that. That
Okay,
you
and then-
can't say that
And
sincerely.
it sounds thrilling.
I mean, who says that?
Stupid. What a shame.
That was really genuine. Wow.
Yeah.
Good for
what
you.
a shame.
What a shame.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Next one. Wow.
That sounded pretty sarcastic.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow.
Wow. You know Owen Wilson's wow? That's like a meme, whatever.
Wow.
Okay, you did much better than I thought you would on
Okay.
those. That's that. All right, we could go. No, I'm joking.
Wow. Good luck with that.
You're good at those,
Thank you.
but you're like a sincere person.
I am sincere.
You're
and
also
sarcastic.
like you're not even sarcastic though. You'll just like say
I'm just obnoxious and say what
yeah,
on
right.
my
Like you'll
mind.
say it. You won't be sarcastic. Like maybe sarcastic is the wrong word for that. It's more like passive aggressive. Some of those, you know.
But I say whatever's on my mind, so people could think I just say what I'm like obnoxious.
Yeah. Because I feel like a lot of those are passive aggressive, not sarcastic. If you were like, good for you, that's not sarcastic, it's passive aggressive because you don't actually mean good for you.
One that is so condescending is like what do they say, the Southern people? Bless your heart.
Bless your heart, child.
Like, fuck you.
What's the movie? I just watched a show or a movie.
They also say they also.
Oh, it
go,
was, yeah.
What do they say? They're like, or that's even good for you. Like, that's so condescending.
Yeah. The movie was Vengeance. I watched. It's a good movie, actually. It's about a podcast, funny enough. I would recommend, you should watch the movie. It's good.
I gotta finish. We have ghosts.
We own a ghost or whatever.
We have.
But in Vengeance, this New York City guy is now like finds himself, whatever, this you can watch it. He finds himself in like a small rural town in Texas. And the woman, when he first shows up, he's like staying in this family's house. And she says like, bless your heart. And he's like, oh, that was so nice. And then, you know, a couple scenes later, someone tells him like, no, bless your heart in Texas means like, fuck you. It's like, because we can't sit, like, they're too polite to say fuck you. So they're saying that. So then at the end of the movie, he gets in a fight with the family and the mom says, oh, bless your heart, like as they're fighting. And he's like, bless your heart, bitch, bless your heart. Because he's like trying to say fuck you.
Right.
So it was just because you brought that up. It was a funny scene.
Thank you. I guess I had to be there.
But
They do bless your heart. Another one. The Southern people do that. It's so fucking condescending. Hey, speaking of Southern, is the fucking is it Chrisley? Chris, what's the first name?
Yeah, I think he's in jail. Todd
He's in
Chrisley.
jail, right?
Yeah.
Fucking A, could you imagine?
He probably loves jail.
Because he's sucking dick, you think?
Yeah.
Pull a picture of him with that's I don't even know.
Pull up
Crazy.
a picture of him? What?
Of like me.
You don't know what he looks like?
No, in jail with.
There's a picture of him in jail. What do you mean?
Picture of him with his fucking red suit on.
No, they don't take pictures in
guy.
jail.
Poor guy.
Todd Chrisley jail. Not poor guy. He did it to himself. Yeah, I mean, there's no.
All right.
But
terrible.
He reported to prison on January 17th.
Oh,
12 years. That's crazy. 12 years.
Could you imagine, Bron?
That would
Bron.
suck.
And he only got 12 years because of him being a public to make.
Why, you think it would have been more?
Been less.
Oh, yeah.
You fucking break.
Yeah.
Wow, that's fucked up.
What was it, for tax or something?
Yeah.
Didn't pay his taxes?
Yeah, I did some other stuff.
The fuck? How is that? That's crazy.
How did you should pay your fucking taxes?
Yeah. But also, like, yeah, I mean, just the fact that, like, I don't know, the whole
Ugh, gives me
crazy.
heebie-jeebies.
Well, you pay your taxes.
I get it, but it's still scared. These fucking people, they're crazy. Wesley Snipes was in jail for that.
Yeah, but Wesley Snipes is a fucking homie.
And
speaking of
Shakira,
homie, yeah, but I don't know if she's going to jail.
She is. Look her up. I think she's going to jail. Those hips don't lie.
Shakira, jail?
Yeah.
Jail.
Yeah. What else are you going to put in?
Shakira could face time over
okay.
alleged tax fraud. Yeah, there's nothing. Shakira scourges ex. Oh, yeah.
What were you saying? Something?
I went to get a coffee yesterday.
Speaking of homie.
I went to get a coffee yesterday at 7-Eleven. Don't judge me for that, but I didn't have any beans in my apartment, and it was like 8 p.m., so all the coffee shops were closed or whatever. So there's a 7-Eleven right across the street.
Right in the corner, yeah.
So I hopped over and got a coffee.
Why didn't you just walk over? Why'd you hop over?
Because I was in a good mood. So I skipped on over.
Were they jumping beans you were seeing?
And I got a small coffee just because I got like 2 espresso shots and this like real deal like black guy behind the counter. I put the coffee down. I was like, just this. And he looks at it, he goes, that's all you got? And I go, yeah. He goes, you're good, my dog. And he let me go.
How nice is
and
that?
I was like, I'm basically a black person.
No,
he gave me the street creds.
Now, so now you got to take care when you see him.
Yeah. But he called me. I don't remember if he called me dog or homie, but he called me something like that, and I was
that cost him nothing.
No, I know. Yeah. It just made me feel good. I was like, hell yeah! It's like
so
when like a big black woman is like, ooh, child,
you looking good.
Yeah, I'm like, hell yeah.
If I was younger, those bosoms.
Yeah, I love it. I'm like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, that was very nice.
It was nice. I just felt like
that's
sharing
nice.
that.
Good shout out. 7-Eleven right there.
Yeah, 7-Eleven in Brickell. Shout out.
Word up.
Didn't get the guy's name. That's also the only place right outside the 7-Eleven is the only place in Brickell where there's like homeless people. It's just outside of that one. I don't know why. Because there's no like, I don't know, whatever. But
that was very nice.
It's getting worse, the homeless in Miami.
Is getting worse. I've seen that.
It's definitely it's like I'll call the shots evenly. I talk bad about the homeless in other cities. I talk great about Miami, but the homeless situation is getting worse by the day. I notice it by the day.
Yeah, and that block where those 2 or 3 blocks where everything's shut down.
Well, downtown is like
it's terribly there.
Downtown's like The Walking Dead almost. Like parts of downtown.
It is.
Like my office. You were in my office. Yep. Did you walk from Bryce's office to mine?
Yep.
That's a sketchy walk. Like
100%.
I don't like going out for lunch.
I have my rollie on, so I fucking hit it underneath my.
If I'm wearing my watch, I'll either put it in or I'll keep my hands in my pockets as I walk through that stretch.
Sketchy. I agree. Those 2 blocks.
It's a shame because it's like that's downtown Miami. It's right where it's by the courthouse. It's by the train transportation department.
Well, I think it's look. I've been going to Miami courthouse for years there, and before COVID was really open and people were going. There was a lot more activity. The restaurants were open there.
Yeah, there's nothing
open anymore. There's because of COVID. So hopefully it will. They're building a new courthouse. Maybe when that opens up, things will change. But definitely the warm weather, South Florida, there's going to be more homeless. It's definitely sketchy. And you got to be careful.
Yeah.
But so what was that like? So I was in a deposition in Coral Gables. It ended around 2:15, 2:30. And on the way back, I surprised Bryce at his workplace, and Bronson, who works 2 blocks from there.
And 2 days.
And it was 2 blocks. And I was waiting in his office when he's come back from filling up his water bottle. Was it funny?
It was just also perfect timing because I was sitting behind my desk the entire day up to that point. And then the first time I get up from my desk, I go to fill up my water bottle, and I come back, and you're just sitting in my office. It was just a little so out of context.
But it was a nice surprise.
Yeah. I posted on the Instagram.
I saw that. You saw the text you posted.
Yeah.
But it was cute seeing my boys in that working environment.
Yep. Okay.
Just saying, brother.
I guess we can talk about this because this has been something that, I think you'll find it interesting. So Roald Dahl, the author. You really don't know the name, but you know all his books. James and the Giant Peach.
Yep.
Matilda.
Yep.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yep.
Willy Wonka. He's maybe the most prolific kids.
What's the name? Roll My Dog? What?
Roald. Roald.
Okay.
And then last name is Dahl. I don't know.
Okay. Sounds like a rapper.
Roald Dahl.
Yeah, it's playing right now after Raul Road Dog.
That's your impression of a rapper?
No.
Is what you just did? No. You go, it sounds like a rapper. And
I don't know.
That's what you just did.
Okay.
That's what Dad thinks rap is, by the way. That's hilarious. I want to see what else he did. Matilda, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the BFG, Witches. You know Witches. James and the Giant Peach, Fantastic Mr. Fox. I mean, he's done a bunch
famous.
of shit.
I'm with you.
Yeah, he's one of the most.
Right.
So he died, and
when did he die?
A while, in the 90s, a while
Okay.
ago. But I think his estate or his family or something sold his works. You know how that's a new thing that people are doing.
Thing, yes.
Springsteen just sold his entire
Music
catalog.
is a big thing, yes.
Paul Simon just sold his entire catalog. That's what these people are doing, right? You cash out. Neil Young just did it. You get 400 mil, and then your music's never yours again. You have no say. They can do whatever they want with your music. They can change it. They can put it in any movie they want, and they're going to make all the money. You don't make any more. You've cashed out of it.
I think that is watch your laptop. I think the companies that are doing that, I think in 10, 15 years will be worth no value to them.
I disagree. You're saying the music will not be an asset to them anymore?
Yeah, I think it was stupid. I think they should not have done it. Good for the fucking artists cashing out.
See, I have the entirely opposite.
I think the artists are stupid because they're artists and they don't have any ownership or control. However, they're cashing out, and I think in 10, 15 years, there's going to be no value to those.
Interesting. I have the complete opposite take. I think that it's discouraging, and it's a shame that all these artists are selling out. That's the opposite of what.
That's a shame.
It's the opposite of what they always a rock star in the 80s. The whole thing about them was not selling out.
500 million, you'd sell out too.
Yeah, I mean that's what they're all doing. But I think that they're losing. In the long run, it would be worth more to their estate keeping there.
Who owns the Elvis? Still the Elvis family?
Yeah, but Lisa Marie, but she just died. She was the one who owned it all outright, the entire.
So she died. Who
catalog?
I don't know.
Heirs? I don't know. She has children,
so
but
they'll own it.
Yeah. But with.
I agree. Don't sell it.
I just read a whole thing though. I forget where it was. There was a whole report that was showing that modern music doesn't have staying power like old music does. Music from the 60s through the 80s, people listen to more now than they do even modern music. Not just your age, my age. If you look at Spotify streams, right? Of course, when new songs come out, they're going to get a bunch, right? But for what people are listening to daily,
we're not listening to fucking 99 Luft Balloons in 30 years from now.
Yeah, I wasn't even talking about that. I was talking about even more modern stuff like The Weeknd or Ariana Grande or Rihanna, that kind of stuff.
I don't even like it. I don't like that music.
I mean, I like that
music. I do like
Green
Day, though. I'm not going to lie.
That's not that's 90s.
But I like it.
Alternative rock.
But I like it.
Not what I was talking. Not Rihanna.
That's what I'm talking about.
I like Green Day too, but I also like Rihanna too. I like both. But I don't know why this is the case, but it's you can just see the data on Spotify and these streamers that what people are listening to daily, regularly, not just once when it comes out, every day, constantly, is old music.
It's better.
Kids and adults, that's what they're listening to. So it's the Beatles, right? The Beatles are making more money now
Interesting.
than they did in the 60s. And it's constantly growing because not only, right, like every year there's new people that are finding their music and listening. So it's like, it's the ceiling is, there's no ceiling, right? You can keep growing as long as more people are finding. And so that's why all these companies, they're not buying up the discography of Taylor Swift. They're buying up discography of old classic artists because they are seeing that data and they're seeing this is an investment. And they're going to market it more even. 100%. And they're seeing this is an investment that we can like milk this cash cow for 200 years, 300 years. They can keep making money off Here Comes the Sun by the Beatles. Every day they can keep making money off that rather than the Beatles or Bruce, let's say, right? Bruce gets one lump sum check. I mean, it makes sense because he's one man. He's going to die eventually, but a company's never going to die, right? So like Bruce can't make money when he's dead in his grave. His family can, but this company can make money off Bruce's songs.
You got the white thing there. Okay.
They can make money off Bruce's songs for 500 years, this company.
So this weekend, I brought my little Bose speaker, the JBL speaker. And
not a Bose, it's JBL.
I changed it. Yeah. I said Bose and I said JBL. And then all I listened to was classic rock and also classic 70s love songs.
It's honestly it's what everyone's listening to.
It's better music.
It's what everyone's listening to.
And everyone's loving, like, what's your playlist? I go, it's called Spotify. I just love it. Yeah. And I also like yacht rock, baby.
Okay, that was a little cringy, but yeah.
I like yacht rock.
And you want to know the crazy thing too? You're going to be like, but it's because I have good taste because I'm a 55-year-old man. Everyone agrees with you.
It's good
Remember
music.
We were sitting in the couch with Brett's daughter. Not going to say her name just because we don't need to share her name on the podcast or whatever. But we were sitting in the couch with Brett's daughter. She's what, 15? A 15-year-old girl in high school. And mom asked her, what kind of music do you listen to? And she said, like classic rock from the 80s.
I think classic rock.
A 15-year-old girl, that's what she's listening to. Like that's
because it's really the best music.
Yeah, all I really listen to now on my phone, like the main things I've been listening to are like 70s, not even rock, like
70s the best,
like disco and R&B and 70s, blues and all that stuff.
70s love songs are the fucking best.
Yeah,
they're great. You're so vain.
That's the song you mean. They're so great. Carly Simon.
Because you know why?
But that is a great song.
No, but the reason why I put it, because when I put in 70s love song, it's always the first one.
It's a great song. But see, that's another thing too. Like You're So Vain. That's funny that you picked that song. 3 weeks ago, that was the biggest song on the internet because of TikTok. Everyone was doing TikTok to that song, and it's like that song is from so long ago.
See, I'm not joking. When I put it, that's the reason why it came to mind. But it's great.
But these old songs have so much staying power. We don't play it. We're gonna get demonetized. Literally, don't play it. But it is a great song. I like that song.
Clouds in my coffee. Clouds in my coffee.
So I think these companies are like, they're going to make a lot of money. 500 mil or 450 mil is
They know something better than I know. So, yeah.
And then they can, they own the songs outright, they can put them everywhere. That's the problem that actually, now that I think about it, that might actually ruin the thing.
Right, you get sick of it.
If it's in every commercial, every movie, then it's not. Then we might be like, I don't like this anymore. So we'll see. The jury's still out on that. We'll see. So I guess back to why we got onto this. So Roald Dahl did that.
I also like Oasis too. They're very good.
Yeah, Oasis is great.
Really good.
Here's speaking of Oasis, I
could throw you off so easily.
I've had this. I formed this thought when I was like a teenager, but I still stick by it, and I'm very confident in it.
And Sir Mix-a-Lot is really good too. I'm not gonna lie. And fucking,
you're not gonna lie, but do you like big butts?
I'm not gonna lie. No.
Right. See, did you mean to do that though?
No, I did not. I know, correct.
That's pretty funny.
And a fucking great one is fucking who sings OPP and all those songs?
Naughty by Nature.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah.
No.
So that's all.
They're great.
So this is like you're thinking like 90s hip hop is what that is.
That's fucking great.
Sir Mix-a-Lot, Naughty by Nature.
No, but Naughty by Nature gets you
Run
fucking
DMC.
pumped. Can't touch this.
That's MC Hammer.
That too you can't touch.
Right? Is that MC Hammer?
Yeah.
So I formed this thought, and it's
the way it is. I'm so proud of you.
I mean, some of them.
Ronnie formed a thought.
Some like it's not the
6 bonds I got half wrong.
The Oasis part, people are going to be like, yeah, that's obvious. But here's the thing. So the Beatles were the 60s and the 70s, right? And then they were not a band anymore. If the Beatles continued on as a band in the 80s, they would have been Electric Light Orchestra.
ELO's fucking great, by the way.
So ELO is the 80s
Uncle
Beatles.
Lloyd loved ELO.
They literally they are the Beatles.
Do you think
of
so?
the 80s.
See, I think
they're
wait.
so the Beatles.
I think it's the Beatles and Yaz mixed together.
What's Yaz?
You never heard of Yaz?
No.
Seriously?
No.
Oh, it's fucking great.
I don't know Yaz.
Oh, we'll play it afterwards.
But if you listen to ELO, they do things.
Hello?
They do things
Can
that the
you hear
Beatles
me?
did. I just think that if the Beatles
ELO's great.
If the Beatles kept into the 80s, they would have sounded just like ELO.
Could be.
If the Beatles kept into the 90s, they would have been Oasis.
100% Oasis.
Yeah, I mean Oasis.
I like Oasis.
Were inspired by the Beatles.
Well, you could see it, even the haircuts, the way they dress.
Yeah, well,
everything.
they're from Liverpool
Right,
and Manchester and shit too. So I think, but the ELO one is definitely the Beatles of the 80s, and then that's the Beatles of the 90s, and then the 2000s is the band Jet. You probably know them. Are you gonna be my girl? Do you remember that song? Are you gonna be my girl?
Are you gonna be my girl?
Yeah, it's that's a very famous song. Jet, if you guys go and listen, is if the Beatles were in the 2000s. They are just the fucking Beatles.
So ELO, I don't know if I necessarily agree with you.
I can't play you the songs.
We will
because
afterwards.
We'll get demonetized.
But I'm gonna play you Yaz. You're gonna see the two of them combined.
Okay, and I'll play you certain songs from ELO, and you'll be. And if you think about the Beatles, you'll be like, oh my God, it is the Beatles, but it's synthy because it's the 80s.
Right. The synthy thing is where Yaz comes in, and that's what I'm saying.
But that's because it's the 80s influence. So I'm saying if the Beatles maintained working together
Wings,
through the 80s.
Paul McCartney was completely different.
But that was just Paul McCartney.
True.
The Beatles, the beauty of the Beatles, why they were the best band and why they had so much staying power was because it was all four of them working together. They all did great stuff solo, but it was not the same as when they were together.
Who are the other ones? Ringo Starr.
George Harrison's the best solo by far, in my opinion.
I don't remember which one.
George Harrison's great. You probably know some of his solo stuff. You probably know. What's the song called? It's the one where he does. Oh, why can't I think of the name? It's one of my favorite songs. My Sweet Love. That's what it's called. You definitely know it. I'll play it for you after.
Okay, no problem.
You by George Harrison is a great fucking song. Everyone should listen to it. What Is Life is a great song. Wah Wah, great song.
Okay.
Paul McCartney did great stuff too, solo. John Lennon did great stuff solo.
And Ringo Starr.
Ringo didn't really do anything solo. He did, but it's not good.
Yeah.
Ringo is just there.
We saw Ringo Starr.
Yeah.
In London.
Which is, that's cool to see him in London.
Yeah. Very cool.
So should we go to this Roald Dahl shit?
Oh yeah, talk about that, and then we got to do a follow advice.
Yeah,
and then we're gonna hang up. We're gonna end it, and I want to show ELO with Yaz. Okay,
we'll hang up. Call us back later, guys.
That's the dial-up.
Yeah, that was the start to the ELO song.
Hello.
Yeah,
can you
it starts with the dial.
Yeah.
Okay, so Roald Dahl, just like all these other artists, the family, I guess, sold to a company, sold all the rights to all his books to a company. And that's why there have been a lot of Roald Dahl shit in the last couple of years.
Okay.
New Matilda movie just came out. They're redoing Charlie and the Chocolate Factory with Timothée Chalamet, which is why we have so many of those already. And the original Willy Wonka is the best one. But then, so the book publisher, because now they own the rights to his book, so they can literally do whatever they want to them, right? It's not like they own the full right, so they can just rewrite whatever they want in his books. So they published new versions of his books,
LGBT.
and they changed things in his books.
Of course they do.
And so people were reading through, and people were catching changes, and were like, "What the fuck?" And then they became this whole thing online. So everyone was showing original versions of what he wrote. This is the author of these things. What he wrote. They're for children already, right? And then now they're changing them for woke messages.
Oh, yeah.
And so then the problem is they own those things. So that's what it is. That is the role. Charlie and Chocolate Factory is whatever they want it to be now.
Well, I heard about Charlie and Chocolate Factory. They don't call him. It wasn't fat or something.
So that was one of them. So Augustus Gloop, who's the fat kid, right? That's the whole point of his character, is that he's gluttonous and he's fat. Literally, that's the whole story. And they don't call him fat in the book because it's you can't call someone fat.
Could you imagine?
So I think I got a list of
the differences,
of some of the stuff that they changed. And it's just that's, so it says here, children's author Roald Dahl's beloved books scrubbed by sensitivity experts. That's what
sensitivity experts in my ass.
publisher Puffin tapped sensitivity readers to rewrite hundreds of sections of the author's texts to ensure his work can contribute to be enjoyed and not offend today's more woke audience.
By the way, don't read if you're offended.
And it's also who was offended. They were kids' books.
But
we all grew up on those books.
But
everyone read Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Everyone read James the Giant Peach. Like, we're all fine.
Unbelievable. Well, they shouldn't use peach then, right? Because that's a vajayjay.
What?
Vagina. Well,
Peach?
yeah, yes.
No, peach is butt. Like the peach emoji is what people use for a butt now. That's
but a peach was like looked like a vagina.
Okay, get your mind out of the gutter, Dad.
Too late.
Here it says from Penguin or Puffin, not Penguin, because Penguin is a good publisher. I like them. Puffin's latest editions of Roald Dahl's books. On the bottom of the copyright page on the new editions, it says "Words matter." The wonderful words of Roald Dahl can transport you to different worlds and introduce you to the most marvelous characters. This book was written many years ago, and so we regularly review the language to ensure that it can contribute to be enjoyed by all today. I mean, the thing is, the whole book...
Okay, are they doing that Mozart's music?
There's no words in that.
But my point is, no, but if someone thinks it's offensive, the notes, or the tone of it.
And the whole point of a book is that it was written at a certain time, and that was
the artistry.
Like, you read Huck Finn.
What about Macbeth? They're going to rewrite that?
Probably.
Yeah.
When we were kids, we would read Huck Finn, right, written by Mark Twain, and it was written in a time, and it was such a time frame, and they used the N-word in that book. And I remember we were in class when we would talk about, like our teacher said, this is in this book, we're going to read it, and you'll see that word. But remember, like, this book was written in a time where that word was used. So, like, when you're reading this book, you're going back to the time that it was. And that word was a normal word back then. Obviously, things have changed. And we had a discussion about it. It actually made it better because we understood, oh, wow, this word was used back then, and we don't think like that now. And so, wow, we're back in this mindset. This character, this white character is looking down upon this black character, but they're still forming, like, it adds to the book, if anything. So to change it is just ridiculous. Here it says, Oompaloompas, the diminutive staffers of Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory, were once called small men, yet are now called small people. So they've made them non-binary.
Could you imagine?
That's
Could
crazy.
you imagine? But they were men. They were little men. They were like minions.
It also doesn't matter.
Of course, none of it matters,
like,
Bronson.
They're Oompa-Loompas. They're fake. Why did you have to non-binary them? Another favorite character, Augustus Gloop, right? That's what we just said, is no longer called fat, but is called enormous instead. That's worse, I feel like.
Yeah.
Enormous is... I think of someone bigger when I hear enormous than fat.
Right, I'm fat. They're enormous.
Yeah, I'm fat. Right. I'm not fucking enormous.
You're borderline. The guy.
Let's see. Characters from another classic are also getting a makeover. What do they say? In the original version of James and the Giant Peach, a character rhymes, Aunt Sponge was terrifically fat and tremendously flubby at that. And Aunt Spiker was thin as a wire and dry as a bone, only drier. However, after being scrubbed, the text now reads, Aunt Sponge was a nasty old brute and deserved to be squashed by the fruit. And Aunt Spiker was much of the same and deserves half the blame. They completely changed the entire thing. They just rewrote it completely
with different words that rhyme.
They should not be allowed to say that this is written by Roald Dahl.
Also a little bit nasty. Should be squashed by the fruit.
Yeah, they want her to die.
Yeah, fucking annihilate the person.
And in the original one, it says she was terrifically fat. That's a nice thing. It was terrific. Her fat was terrific. They literally should not be allowed to be. It shouldn't be allowed to be said. James and the Giant Peach by Roald Dahl.
When Mona Lisa, if someone doesn't like the color of the skin, they're going to repaint it. That's because this is art. Yeah,
of course this is art. This is gender references have also been neutralized to not offend women and the transgender community.
Offend.
In The Witches, which is a great book, and the original movie with Angelica Houston, that's a great fucking movie. That's like a classic movie. The original, or the remake, is horrendous. But in The Witches, a section saying witches are bald beneath their wigs has a new disclaimer. Now in the book it says that there are plenty of other reasons why women might wear wigs, and there is certainly nothing wrong with that.
Could you imagine?
That's so unnecessary.
Could you imagine?
That's so unnecessary
those
to
are
say.
Transgender midgets when I look at those.
You're talking about the Oompa Loompas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leave it alone.
The Oompa Loompas have no...
They're like little midgets.
Can't say midget.
I can, and I did.
Puffin and the Roald Dahl Story Company made the latest changes in conjunction with Inclusive Minds, which its spokesperson said is, quote, a collective for people who are passionate passionate about inclusion and accessibility in children's literature. Like, that company should be...
It's literature,
We
guys.
should burn that company down.
Bron, you go into a bookstore, a library, there's thousands of millions of books out there. They're all different things. You can grow from them. You can learn from them. Some can be offensive, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. You grow from it. You learn, you educate. To make it where it's just so general... No,
it's also
I think it's important that these books push the envelopes.
100%. That's the whole thing. Like, the left, right? So these are all definitely like liberal people.
Of course.
The whole thing, one of the biggest images that the left loves to use as like a metaphor is Nazi book burning. Remember, that's like
they're doing it. They're
that's what I'm
rewriting.
saying.
Yep.
Their favorite thing is like, the Nazis took away knowledge. They burned books, and that's horrible because they only wanted people to know what they wanted
Their
you
narrative.
to know.
We talked about that all the time.
The left uses that metaphor all the fucking time, and it's like, this is not literal book burning.
Doing it.
This is
It's
metaphorical book burning.
Yep.
They're taking away things that were written instead of changing it. Just maybe if you're, let's say you're a teacher and you're offended by those words, just then teach it differently.
Or better yet, say, why does it offend you? That's what I would say. Tell me why that offends you.
Like, saying these women were bald, why do we need to give a qualifier that being bald is okay? Like, it didn't say that being bald is bad. It just said women are bald. Why do we need to
Said
then
the witches. Said the witches are bald.
Yeah.
That's all.
And that's part of the story of them. It makes them scary.
But that's how he made them. What's next? Goblins. No, you can't call them ugly.
Well, goblins is a whole other thing
you
too.
can't-
Because remember have we talked about that? Goblins, how it's like, especially like a lot of movies that use goblins, they're also like bankers, right? Like, think about the Harry Potter movies, right? The goblins run the banks.
Like Jews, you're
Yeah,
saying?
it's a Jewish stereotype, like a negative. Goblins are always used as like a Jewish, because they're always short, they always have big noses, they're always plump. It's like
I'm
what
not
the Nazis.
offended by it.
No, I'm not offended either, but that's like a very classic.
I don't give a fuck.
Speaking of Harry Potter, we should get into like, we'll save that for the Patreon because it's been on my list. But there's like all this shit going on with J.K. Rowling.
I will save that.
Yeah, and we'll save that. But I think that's.
I disagree. I agree with you, Brian. I
think
disagree with what they're doing with it, and it's not art anymore. It's not art. It's like painting the Mona Lisa.
It's ridiculous, and it's a shame, and they're gonna ruin like. It's just as bad
Mr.
as
Potato, changing Mr. Potato Head, or Dr. Seuss, same thing.
Yeah, this one's even worse because at least like with Dr. Seuss, they were just going to say, we're removing this book. You know, they were just like, this specific book we don't like, so we're going to take it out.
But why?
This is changing words
I get
and then
it.
pretending that they're not changing them.
I
Just
get it.
being like,
in
this
a
is the book.
library, there's millions of books you can choose from, different kind of literature. There's stuff you can read on white Aryan race groups. There's things you can read on.
As you should, because that educates
yes,
you.
of course. And if you take a liking, so be it. People can be who they want to be as long as they don't harm other people. I disagree.
And
with
it's not like
changing the
Roald Dahl was like some crazy right-wing.
Right, radicalist.
Every generation for the last 5 generations has grown up reading his books. It's not like.
I don't agree with it.
Yeah.
Period.
Fuck, I was just going to say something and I forgot.
All right, let's do a follow advice.
I don't remember what I was going to say.
That's sad, Bronny.
Yeah.
What you just told me. It really is, honestly.
It's just a shame,
And
you
you're
know?
very into literature. I'm not. And I think that's very, very, very sad. Because our kids will never be able to make the determination. And again, the kids, shouldn't they know what fat is? Shouldn't they know?
Yeah, and it's also like that was it was sending a message too, like specifically in Willy Wonka, right? The whole point of that character was that Augustus Gloop, he was like a glutton. And so he was constantly...
His father gave him everything.
And he was only... No, that was the Veruca Salt one.
Right.
But his mother, like, gave him everything. And that one, she was always feeding him. And he didn't have, like... The whole thing was he didn't respect the factory, right? They walked in and Willy Wonka was like, don't touch anything in this room. You can eat everything, but just take one thing. And he couldn't help. He was like... I don't care, and he ate everything.
Again, he got stuck.
Right, exactly. So it's like, that's a message to kids.
Of course, but no, they're going to change
like,
that
that's
now.
teaching kids, don't, like, if someone, like, don't take too much of something. Too much is
You know
bad.
what it'd be today? They'd sue the chocolate factory.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
and they would win.
the factory because he got
the
stuck.
factory would be shut down completely.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. What we got some new ones.
Oh, good. That's a long one.
Yeah, and that one's sad. I'll save it for another time. What's this one? There was one that I... This, yeah, let's see. Let's read this one. This is from...
It's a long one.
Oh, this is from, actually, I don't know if I want to say the name, even though they didn't say it should be anonymous, but it seems like it probably should be anonymous.
Okay.
But this person is a Patreon member. So you know that we know who you are because I can see your name and you know that you wrote this. So just shout out. He's been on some of our Zooms. So
can I say?
He's the realtor.
Yeah, I know.
Member. Yeah. See, how good are we? We even remember what our listeners do for a living just from their name.
Keep going.
So it says, have been a very loyal listener. I feel like since before even Cancel Court. Love your yin and yang dynamic. So this is about my wife. We've been dating for 3 years. We were dating for 3 years and have been married for 3 years, so 6 years total. She comes from a divorced home and both parents have their issues. Her dad continually breaks her boundaries by calling her weird names like sweetheart and honey and touching her on her lower back and a lot of other things. We have decided it's best to cool things off with him and pseudo cut him out of our lives for now. And although it's been tough, it has been best for both of us as I have had some very frank and almost physical confrontations with him. The real issue right now is with her mom. She loves talking to my wife, Taylor, and just chatting away, but every once in a while she will ask how Taylor's dad is doing, which is her ex. It makes Taylor extremely uncomfortable to play telephone just so that her mom can get the latest gossip and dish tea to Taylor. She also will ask why I don't hang around her as much as my parents, and if I like her, which also makes I'm a little lost. Are you?
I'm following completely.
Okay, I'm a little lost.
Okay, couple of things. She doesn't have it really cooling off with the father because of creepy shit, not comfortable, whatever it might be. They're divorced.
That's a whole other conversation.
Okay.
That's
the
really
mother,
weird.
She speaks to the mother, but the mother uses the daughter as a conduit to find out what's going on with the ex-husband.
Yeah, okay.
Then she also says, why don't you hang out with me as much as you hang out with blank's, my son-in-law's family?
Okay, that's where
that's where we're at.
So the wife's mother is upset that they're not hanging out with her as much as they are with the husband's parents.
Right.
Okay, got it.
And it sounds like the husband's parents are a little more stable.
I'm sure.
Okay,
yeah. The only reason I don't hang around is they are more sedentary people, and me and Taylor are very active when we don't jive as much. They also like to ask us for money, which is fine, but I'm always nervous about them paying us back.
Okay,
they always
should not
do,
be giving
but
money.
just nervous.
They should not.
He shouldn't give money to his parents.
You do not give to your
in-laws.
in-laws. You do not give to the in-laws. Sorry, go ahead.
Taylor has told her mom that if she has a problem, she can talk to me, and I would be very cordial about it, but I don't want to ruin any relationship. Taylor's the sweetest person alive, so I hope I don't butcher her personality. My questions to you are, how would you respond if your mom was wanting gossip through you instead of talking directly to the person
Easy
in question?
one. Let's handle that one first.
Do you want me to read them all?
No, because
Okay.
we're going to handle that one.
Okay, we'll address them one at a time.
First of all, very simple. You're married. You're an adult. You say, Mom, you and Dad chose to get divorced. Don't get me involved. I'm not discussing. You want to find out about Dad? You call him. Don't keep me out of it.
Yep, that's literally,
And
you just have to create the boundary.
You set your boundaries, period.
Yeah.
Easy one. Move on. Next one.
Definitely.
And there's no teetering on that one. That's exactly what you need to do. 100%. Everybody will tell you the same thing.
Yeah.
Go on. Next one.
Next one. How would you respond to your mother-in-law about these things being brought to your wife and making her stressed, uncomfortable, and sad? Which things? I'm kind of lost to this whole thing.
I think things. Why do you hang out with your in-laws, parents, whatever?
I think you.
What do you say?
I don't know. What do you say?
I say
we like them better. Like you can't say that.
You say no. I love you, Mom. Of course we hang out with you, and just say just blame it on your schedules and shit like that,
or just be like we love hanging out with you, and that's it.
Right? Yeah, I would.
Because there were friends that I have where it's like I don't like hang out with them all that much,
but you don't want to hurt their feelings.
But I would never. Yeah, and I just say, I'm busy.
Yeah, I would just say, Mom, we love hanging out with you. If that's how it looks, we don't mean anything by it.
And if any of my friends are listening, and I tell you that I'm busy, it's not because I don't want to hang out with you. It's actually because I'm actually
busy. This
busy.
is not your fault, daddy issues.
Well, just because I just outed myself that when I say I'm busy to my friends, it's because I don't want to hang out with them.
No one listens to you. Go on, next question.
None of my friends are listening an hour and 10 minutes in or whatever. And then last question, do you have any recommendations about building the relationship so the mother-in-law doesn't feel that way? I guess that's what we were just talking about.
You have to hang out with her then. You have to spend more time with her.
Or you just accept that if you guys don't want to hang out with her, then you're all going to have a strained relationship. You can't be close with someone if you don't hang out with them.
You're going to have to. I think that if you want your mother-in-law to be a little more comfortable and feeling that you want to spend time, then you have to spend time with her. There's no way around it.
Or you just accept that she is.
It's not easy.
That's the way it is.
And look, Taylor, things are, maybe your husband's family you feel more comfortable with. They might be more secure, more stable, more family-like. The dynamics that maybe they're not divorced. So I get it, that stability, you want to hang out with them. But life is interesting. You know, you can't pick and choose your family or your in-laws. The only thing you can do is you can change your life. So you and your husband can create your own existence and make sure your children don't have the same upbringing of the things you didn't like. That's all you can do.
And there's also sometimes, so they said here, like, we don't jive with them because we're very active and they're more like sedentary and hang and just like sit around. There's sometimes where you just got to do what you got to do. Like my grandma is not active, and like there are times where like I'd rather like go hang out with my friends than go hang out with my grandma. But there's sometimes that I just gotta go do
right.
that.
We take her to lunch and she's lonely, so you spend the whole Saturday with her.
And it's like
I do it out of respect for her and my mother and my wife.
That's what I'm saying. Like there's sometimes where you just gotta do what you gotta do because you're like a good person. And with family, like you just if all they do is sit around all day, then 1 hour a week you go and sit around with them, and it's like that, and then you're being a good son-in-law, and that's just what you do.
I will spend time with my mother-in-law because she's old and out of respect for my wife.
Yeah, and it's obviously like there are other things that you'd probably rather be doing.
Really? You think?
But that's what we have to do as people who have responsibilities in this life. Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
So I think those are all normal things. What you're going through, and I think our answers are the right answers to the questions.
And then lastly, he said, "Thanks again for your help. I hope I explained it well." I don't think you did, but it's fine. Love you guys and wish we could hang out sometime, as I think I could listen to both of your perspectives for hours. Thanks. So
come visit us in Florida. Yeah. You and Taylor. We hang out all the time.
Don't bring your mother-in-law.
or your father-in-law for that matter. All right, love you, Brian.
Or Taylor's dad, because that's like a whole other conversation.
That's the father-in-law.
Oh, true. Yeah. That's a whole other conversation.
Love you. Bye, everybody. You're joking, right?
Well, I'm trying to be hopeful. I'm trying to be optimistic about that.
Well, I guess you're too young to be a little pessimistic like me. The fucking things I see out there, people are stupid.